Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are undertaking a massive shift in how you handle your finances. We're completely moving away from relying on sheer willpower, and instead, we're putting all our trust into the power of automation. By the time we wrap up here, you're going to know exactly how to build a step-by-step, fail-proof money pipeline in literally just 60 minutes. Honestly, this is the exact step that separates people who just occasionally invest from the folks who actually build real long-term wealth. So let's get into it. Okay, to really understand this, let's look at the story of a guy named Jordan. Now, Jordan was a smart guy. He was responsible, highly motivated, the whole package. But every single month, his plan to invest got totally derailed by some surprise expense. You know how it is? A sudden car repair, a buddy's wedding, a higher-than-expected utility bill. His monthly investing just turned into this constant negotiation with himself, and he usually ended up saying, well, I'll just invest next month. But Jordan eventually realized his problem actually wasn't a lack of intelligence or discipline, it was a design flaw. He was relying on motivation. But look, motivation is like that flaky friend who texts on my way and then completely disappears for 3 hours. It's just wildly unreliable. The truth is, you don't need to suddenly become more disciplined, you literally just need to stop requiring discipline. We have a seriously actionable masterclass lined up for you today. We're going to cover why motivation always fails, choosing your pipeline design, configuring your schedule and amount, setting the buffer rule, psychological scripts and reflection, and we'll finish up with your 7-day verification checklist. All right, section 1, why motivation always fails. Stop negotiating with yourself. There is a huge, massive difference between manual and automated investing. Manual investing requires you to make repeated decisions over and over, which totally invites procrastination and emotional interference. Markets go up and down, scary news headlines cause fear, and let's face it, your mood changes day to day. But automated investing, that turns wealth building into a background process. It's completely emotionally detached. Think of your money pipeline like a giant conveyor belt. Every single payday, the belt automatically moves a small portion of your money straight into your future. You don't have to lift it manually. The belt does all the heavy lifting for you. And here's the thing you have to remember. Compounding rewards consistency way more than intensity. Systematically investing reasonable amounts over time beats emotional market timing every single time. Moving on to section 2. Choose your pipeline design. Finding the right fit. Before we actually start building, you need to check your own signals to see if you're truly ready for this step. If you have a stable income and an active emergency fund, you're waving green flags. You are absolutely ready to automate. But if you've got irregular income or fluctuating expenses, those are yellow flags. And if you have zero safety net and your checking account is frequently hitting zero, those are red flags. If you find yourself in the yellow or red, your pipeline needs to be paused or scaled way back while you focus on building basic financial stability first. Automation is a fantastic tool, not a trap. So it really needs to fit your current reality. So the crucial point here is picking the best pipeline design for your specific situation out of 3 distinct options. First up is the 401k through your payroll. This is the absolute cleanest pipeline. The money leaves before it even hits your checking account. It forces consistency though, it does have low flexibility. Option 2 is a standard bank transfer to your broker. This one is the most flexible pipeline and works beautifully for things like a Roth IRA. But option 3, the broker auto-invest, takes user convenience to the highest possible level. If you compare it to a traditional bank transfer, the broker automation is just incredibly powerful. The broker automatically pulls the money and invests it in your chosen ETFs in one totally seamless, hands-off step. It's all about choosing the one that fits your personal style. All right, section 3, configure, schedule, and amount, building the engine. Now we're getting to the step-by-step tutorial. You can literally do this right in your banking app. Step 1, choose a rhythm. If you get paid biweekly, set your transfers to biweekly. Always match it to your paycheck. Step 2, choose a sustainable monthly amount. Step 3, actually log in and set up that recurring transfer. And a quick pro tip here, make sure to schedule this right after payday so the month doesn't accidentally spend the money for you. Finally, step 4, define what happens next. Having your money just sitting there uninvested is a huge beginner mistake. So if you don't have auto-invest set up, make a strict rule for yourself that the absolute second the transfer arrives, you manually buy your chosen ETFs. Now, if you find yourself stuck on step 2, trying to figure out how much to send, remembering coach's rule number 1 is going to help you out. Automate the smallest amount you can comfortably sustain for an entire year. Start smaller than your ego wants, but larger than your excuses want. The best plan isn't the biggest one, it's the most sustainable one. Let's move to section 4, set the buffer rule, making automation safe. I know the biggest fear with automation is accidentally draining your checking account and getting slapped with overdraft fees. So let's establish how to avoid that. The secret to sleeping well at night is the buffer rule. This is just a predetermined safety threshold. So, for example, you might decide your personal buffer is $1,000. If you look at your checking account and the balance is below that buffer number, you just temporarily pause your investing transfers for that month. Boom, no guilt, no stress. Setting a clear buffer rule gives you total peace of mind, proving that automation isn't some rigid prison that's going to bankrupt you. It's a highly flexible, emotionally safe tool. Next up, Section 5, Psychological Scripts and Reflection, Managing the Mind. So setting up the tech in your app, that takes maybe 10 minutes. But life will happen, and I guarantee you'll be tempted to pause your pipeline during trickier months just to have a little extra spending cash. We need some psychological techniques to handle this. Whenever you feel that temptation, I want you to use this specific self-talk script. Tell yourself, my pipeline is small but consistent. Consistency is the goal. I don't need motivation, I need a system. You have to remind yourself that long-term wealth is built quietly, consistently, right there in the background. But what about when cash flow feels unusually tight? This decision script completely removes the stress of internal negotiation. You don't have to agonize over whether to invest or not. You literally just check the math. If the buffer is safe, the system runs. If it's not, you pause. The rule does all the heavy lifting, not your emotions. It's as simple as that. Okay, once you've actually hit save on your recurring transfer, I want you to take a brief moment to reflect on these questions. Really try to capture how it feels. Do you feel a sense of relief? Maybe a little anxiety about the money leaving automatically? Or maybe a deep sense of pride that you finally have an identity-based habit where you're building wealth entirely on autopilot. Actually acknowledging these feelings cements this new habit into your identity. You are officially the kind of person who invests automatically. Finally, Section 6, your 7-day verification checklist, building momentum. Over the first 4 days of your new system, your goal is simply to verify that the mechanics are working perfectly. On day 1, just confirm the transfer is scheduled. Day 2, check that your buffer rule is keeping you safe. Day 3, make sure the money actually landed over in your broker account. And day 4 involves a really fun psychological trick. Rename the transfer in your banking app to Investing Pipeline or something similar. Giving it a cool name gives it a psychological weight and importance when you're scrolling through your bank statements. Wrapping up the week, days 5 through 7 are all about reinforcing this brand new identity of yours as a systematic investor. You'll write down those reflections we just talked about, do one last check on your safety buffer rule, and then start building some serious momentum for the future by scheduling your next financial learning step. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a powerful question. What would future you thank you for doing today? By taking just 60 minutes today to remove flaky motivation from the equation and set up a relentless, automated background process, you are completely changing your financial trajectory. This simple automated pipeline you just built today, that is the true engine of your long-term wealth. Future you is going to be incredibly grateful. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.